Hello, welcome to another video. I hope you're all well. Don't mind the bit of a dishevelled look because I just got caught in the rain. But enough of that. Today's video, I wanted to give you guys some different ideas and options of what you could do as your supporting job whilst we are pursuing to become an actor. This is something that I think we all struggle with. Certainly I have, and probably still will continue to do, but there are so many different types of options of jobs that you could do whilst you're still pursuing acting, which could either be nothing to do with acting at all, could be a completely different field, or it could have some acting related skills involved in it. And I'm not going to lie to you, there's not one simple way to fix this or one option that's going to work for all of us, because it's just not true, it's not realistic. Each of us, we're on our own paths, but it's good to have a bit of an idea of different things that are out there. But by making certain choices, like I have done myself, and juggle things around a bit, organise my time, and it has really allowed me to, I think, pretty much try to find a decent balance of my supporting job whilst I'm also pursuing my acting and, of course, paying the bills, as we all have to do. So I'm going to share a variety of different options which will allow you to still perform or have some type of acting performance or that type of passion that we all love and drive for, but also make a living as well. And then at the end of the video, I'm also going to list off a couple normal general jobs that aren't as such performance roles, but they are jobs that either have helped me balance my work and still act, or ones that I know other people have done and has worked out for them. So I'll give you both options, which you can choose for yourself which one you like and see if there's those type of opportunities near you. One last thing, the jobs that I have picked, either acting related or not, none of them, as far as I know, require you to have any qualifications or pay for certain training things before you even get the job. These are potential roles that you can get off the cuff. So yeah, let me get started. Let's get stuck into it. So this part will be just for the acting / entertainment related jobs. First one is TIE / touring companies. Especially during school seasons, there are so many different smaller or bigger independent companies that require actors to perform a certain play or production, which will educate children from all range of ages, but often they're normally targeted at teenager kind of ages. So you'll still be performing and acting, so it'll be catered to more of a specific genre or message that you're trying to put out. I have noticed, especially when I've applied for one of them and considered one of them, they tend to still want actors who can look and fit the castings of someone who could possibly be in their teens. This is a great option for people who are coming out of education, still looking young, and can play off being in their 20s. Because as I mentioned, you're probably going to be playing a teenager, so the students can relate to it as well. Do consider that it will be a touring company. You can get some that completely tour around the country and you will travel with them. So that's a great and different type of experience to experience, especially if you want to get into more theatre and do that type of shows. So great one to get involved in. Or there are some more local alternative versions if you obviously don't want to travel around the UK as such or drive around and whatnot. Second one is Doctor Simulator. The simulator? Doctor Patient Simulator. Now I've actually personally done this and I was quite surprised by it that not many people know about it. So hopefully I explain this right, because it was several years ago that I done this. But basically you will go into the hospital or certain NHS practices and you will pretend to be a person who has certain illnesses or symptoms, and it will be a part of, you know, the doctors or nurses exams, and they will ask you questions and you have to relay it. So you basically get a script, you get a briefing of what you can and can't say, you get food covered, which was great. They had amazing food when I done it back in Southampton. Yeah, it's a really cool kind of role play situation. And of course, if you forget certain things about your character, it's not the end of the world. you can have your description of your brief right next to you. You can double check. So if the doctor asks you a specific question that you can't quite remember, rather than making it up, you can just literally look back to your brief, because this isn't about your performance, it's about the doctors going through their practices of exams or their actual real exams. So it puts less pressure on you and it's more about them. But it's a great way to have a little play and also learn different types of, medical terms and like illnesses and things like that. It's a really educational process, and yeah, there's so many people who do it. They want people of all age ranges, because obviously they want all walks of life. So this is a great one to have a little look at and get involved. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I done it a bit here and there when I came out of uni, when I was in Southampton, and I absolutely loved it. To the point that I've recommended my mum to do it now she's retired. So don't worry what age you are, there will be a type of role for you. So yeah, I do really recommend that one. But if you're not sure where to reach out, it has been quite a few years since I've done it. I think I saw them on Star Now. Yeah. Or they got in touch with my uni. I can't quite remember, but reach out, have a little Google, and someone will be there to help you to find out the patient simulator ones. Genius. Next one is tour guide. Now this could be whether you're a bus tour guide or you could be a walking tour guide. Now this is of course very popular in big cities, especially as you're expecting it, London. There are so many tour guides for obviously people who are travelling from all over the world who want to learn about the city. So in relation to acting performances, you can get certain tour guides and walks. You are in a character. Yeah, you could be a certain type of character in a certain era, or of course you could be just you learning a script and saying facts about the city. So this is a bit of hand in hand of acting related / not, but your skills in learning scripts and being able to work crowd, being comfortable talking in a public setting is really, really helpful for this type of situation. And also just keeping on your feet, especially with bus guides and things like that. If you have fun facts or being able to just banter and have a bit of improvisation is what they want, it's what they need. And it's a great place to start. And don't worry, they of course do these in other cities, but if you are more closer to the central city, this is a great option for you. And like I said, there's themed ones, so you can find one and it can be a bit more character based, or you could be someone who just pops up randomly and join in on the tour. Which links nicely to my ghost tours. As said, it's all similar to what I've just said, but they are often more characterised. You might have a specific accent, you'll be trying to create a certain atmosphere and style to make it more scary and haunting and mysterious, which of course will play into your acting abilities massively. And for both these options, they're really good because they're going to be on all year round. Of course, you have to consider sometimes you might be in the rain and bad weather. I don't know how much they close or cancel, but these ones are normally always on around the UK. We expect the rain, so maybe consider that if you don't mind walking around and it being a bit cold. The next one is teaching assistant. So this one I'm specifying more to just acting classes or more performance classes, whether it's after school clubs, which I personally have taught at as well, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. You can get some of them that will already have the brief of the lesson plan already planned out before you, so you just have to learn it and then obviously get the students involved with it. Or you may actually have some more creative control of creating a plan for yourself. Often when you're first starting out and getting into it, there'll be a plan ready there for you, or you'll be assisting the main leader / teacher who's running the whole class. But this is a great option to do short periods of time. Do consider that it's going to be within school hours or just after school, and I believe my lesson was like an hour, so it wasn't many hours, but if you consider going to different schools or the school has it regularly every day, there's more hours. So this one is a great alternative if you're intrigued more about teaching and obviously you enjoy being around children and you can just have a bit of fun and get creative and get loose with the kids and just be silly and have a bit of fun, but also know how to not swear, and control a classroom of little ones. So yeah, don't expect a big Shakespeare piece coming from these kids. It's more of a way for these children to express themselves, or hopefully encourage them to become more expressive and less shy. That was the best thing I found when I'd done the drama school classes, was seeing the kids that were really nervous and shy initially to then just be so happy and energetic and getting involved with everything, and making animal noises or crawling around on the floor or playing different games. A lot of it are games, but it's nice when you can cater them to more acting kind of, creating a character type games. They're really fun. So that is a great alternative for that sort of job. You can find them on most general job websites, but also look for drama classes. A lot of them have specific companies that run it. That's what I was involved with. I found a specific drama school club that would offer their services to schools, so they would go in externally rather than it being within a school, if that makes sense. So yeah, have a little look at those sort of bits. The next one, we all know of it, it's extra work. This is a great way of getting into the entertainment industry, but also just seeing larger production, the scale of it, and just being a bit more involved in it. This is a great option if, you're a little bit nervous or never done anything really actor-wise, and you don't mind the fact that you're obviously not going to be the lead and centre stage. You're just going to be a passerby, and it's going to be, often or not, it's just simple tasks, just walking here and there and simple movements and that. If you enjoy that type of idea, then it's definitely one to go in. Yes, it can be long hours, sometimes depending on the project, depends on the conditions. Could be cold, rainy, could be boiling hot. You never know, but often they will break it down within the role description. And as you probably already know, you can find these types of roles through extra agencies. So that will be completely different to your acting ones, but do consider this. If you're further along in your acting career and you are getting to a point where certain casting agencies and people within a production are starting to know your name a bit more, often or not, you don't really want to be doing or essay work, as they call. I think that's better. I think that is the preferred name for it, is essay, because you start to get labelled as one thing within the industry. That's why I personally stopped doing essay work, is because there started to get mixed signals within certain casting directors and whatnot of them going, or productions, them saying, oh, I thought she'd done essay work. The moment that we got that information back from my agent, I cut it. I didn't do it anymore, because it's fine if you're hidden in the background and no one sees you and you're obviously not being credited. It's an easy pay. Yeah, long hours, but it's, really good, easy pay. But if you start to get featured within the background, this could potentially risk you not getting opportunities in that production. So think of it like if it's a TV series, you get shown at the forefront as an elf, and then you try to audition for, now I've made it fantasy and sci-fi, you try to audition for a goblin. They'll be like, well, no, we've already seen her at the front as an elf, so that won't make sense. People might get confused. Yes, this might be looking too far into it, but I've personally had this feedback and advice to not do it anymore. So again, depends on where you are within your journey, whether this works for you or not. The next one is theme parks and attractions. If you think of any type of theme park, there's often certain rides that require you to perform as a certain character, and there's also, think of like within London, you have scarier ones like London Dungeons and things like that. You have performers who are performing with the scene and interacting with the crowd. Things like that, most of them are going on throughout the year. So finding ones that are going on all year round is obviously a lot better to know that you have a job throughout the year, set times, set rules, and you know your role, and you can get creative. And often, I believe you do get rehearsal process and getting into character and stuff, so you will have costumes and things like that. So that's a great one to get physically into a role, work off a script, work with other actors, and treat it, well, it is more like live theatre. It's live performance, which is a great skill to develop, especially if that's a type of area you want to get into. If you want to get into theatre and or just enjoy that type of performance and getting creative and sometimes, again, thinking on your feet and reacting of the audience. So yeah, the scary type rooms, if you're okay with horror, gore, those type of subjects, and probably standing in the dark for a bit until the customers come through, it's a great one for you. And that one nicely ties into my next bit that's also creative acting related roles, is seasonal work. So with the seasonal ones, I've got two different options, which are ones that are in the winter months. First one, as you probably guessed it, is Halloween. You have scare nights, fright nights, all those sort of things like mazes and whatnot. Again, like I just mentioned before, you'll have a character or a role and you'll perform it. You'll have rehearsals and you get to perform as that scary person, creature, monster, and interact with audiences. But do consider these are often short frames of time. So if you're just looking for something just to pick up and you don't have as much work nearer the winter season, it's a good one for you. And then it could nicely transition to another seasonal work, which is winter, which is Christmas. And that is being an elf. Most of the time, unless you look like Santa and you have a nice big beard or can dye it, or, you know, you're a guy and you can play a Santa role, most of the time, or especially for me, it would fit in as an elf. So this is a great one if you enjoy Christmas, or you can pretend to enjoy Christmas and interact with customers and get in a little bit of role play. There's lots of different Christmas events, and yeah, there's so many different winter events out there which are more dedicated to either park kind of attractions or ones that are specifically like grotto. There's a lot of grotto work, whether it's in malls, centres, malls, wow, I'm American, shopping centres, or specific like outdoor gardening places. Yeah, there's lots of those ones. For both those seasonal jobs, most of the time I see those roles still on Spotlight or Star Now, Mandy, things like that. And if you're not on there, don't worry, because often or not they will also put it on the general websites that you can find on Google. So those ones I see across both sides. It depends how specific you want to get within the roles. Like if it's an event, actually this is a bit sidetracked, but if it's like a specific event that's like Secret Cinema or Winter Wonderland kind of ones, you will most likely see them on Spotlight. So that's the only kind of alternative. But for the general Christmas or Halloween ones, you will see them pretty much across the board on most social media websites. But if you can't find them, look specifically for the companies or the actual events or ones that will be happening. Look for who's hosting them and running them, and you'll be able to find it most likely on their website. Alright, so that's all my acting related kind of job roles. Hello, editing Gemma here. Just quickly tuning in to say that yes, this video is a little bit long now, so I'm going to make a part 2. I've already gone through all of my acting related jobs that you could have. Part 2 is going to include all the different alternative jobs that you could do alongside, which can hopefully help you continue to pursue acting and a creative industry. A lot of them will be ones that I've either personally done or ones that I recommend and have seen other people do as well to coincide with their career. So yes, if you've enjoyed this so far, give it a nice likes, thumbs up, all of that jazz. Let me know in the comments below, and keep an eye out for part 2 of this video. It won't be as long, but it will still be helpful. So yes, all right, see you in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.